I was just thinking that another really important aspect of this is distinguishing real feelings from adrenaline. The hit of adrenaline, that kind of ha 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 ha, that people get, particularly from being right, people confuse that with a feeling and think that's actually a legitimate feeling. What it is just basically a hit of being right. And when people can, and one of the values of paying attention to your body sensations is you can begin to discern the difference between an adrenaline rush and an actual feeling. And it's only real feelings that get you in touch with your essence and get you in touch with the other person.
I'm just curious of what are some practical tools or questions for, I know a lot of people have issues, I know it was an issue for me of like, actually, what am I feeling? Like I'd suppressed it for so long, and I know that's an issue for a lot of people of how do you even start asking and inquiring about what is my feeling? How do I even tap into what that is?
The best thing to do is start with learning how to listen to your body at a very, very, a level you're already used to listening to, but the move is the same. And here's the one I use. I ask the person, if they say, I have no idea what I'm feeling, I start with something simple. I say, right now, are you feeling thirsty? Are you feeling like you'd like a drink of water? And everybody, I've been around the world now 30-some times, and there's no culture where a person can't tell that. And so right away the person will say, no. Or they'll say, yeah, I would like a drink of water. And then I say, okay, how did you find that out? And how they found that out is they went inside and directed their attention to a particular place and got a piece of information for them. And that's the move. That's the only thing that people need to learn how to do. But we're good at doing it with things like thirsty. We're not as good at doing it with sadness or fear or even excitement or anger. You know, it's not as easy to do that because you haven't gotten any coaching in doing that. You know, when by the time you're 1 or 2 years old, you can already tell people pretty much whether your diapers are wet or whether you're thirsty or hungry. Those things are listened to, but people don't listen to other kinds of emotions, and so you don't have a very good mechanism for doing that.
So we teach people to pay attention to those three main areas in the body. Body sensations in the back of your neck, your jaw, and across your shoulders are in your anger zone. And all animals, when they get angry, have their hackles come up. And so those sensations are just the same in us. And if you really start listening to them, you can feel the tension, you can feel the beginning of a headache, and that's almost always about anger. And sensations of a lump in your throat or heaviness in your chest or a feeling of constriction in your breath often had to do with sadness or the response to a loss, which was what sadness is usually about. And then that butterfly feeling or racy, queasy feeling around your belly button, those are often the sensations that have to do with fear. And if you simply give your attention to that, which is a skill that most people haven't really practiced, which if you are listening to somebody, you actually are giving them your attention. And if you do the same thing with yourself, if you just let your awareness rest on that place and notice if you're having any body sensations and then begin communicating about them, you'll learn how to notice your feelings and how to really express them in a way that will really increase your vitality and your connection, your intimacy.
And this, when you feel it, I know I've heard you say this before, of as you allow the feeling to move through your body and you accept it and honor it and share it, it just moves through. But when we stop it, it gets stuck. Can you talk about that, of just the circulation and how a feeling unfolds?
Well, feeling is flow. Feeling is just like your blood. You've got feelings just like you've got the flow of blood. And we all learn how to stop our feelings by holding our breath. All kids know how to do that. You know, they've had the experience of, you stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. And people go, and they can stop the feeling. But what it does is create more actual tension. It can create higher blood pressure. All kinds of dis-eases come from not allowing just the flow of experience. You know, we have feelings flowing through just like a rainstorm. And when you let yourself feel them, then what you do is liberate the energy of them, and you get more flow. It'd be like having a nozzle on a garden hose, and you've really turned the nozzle down so it's going. And when you open the nozzle, then you can get you can actually modulate the flow. You can open the flow. You can direct it where you want it to go, rather than feeling like you're about to explode, which people do. They store up their feelings and then they explode. It's a very common thing that happens in relationships.
Andrew Taylor Still, who was the founder of osteopathy back in the 19th century, one of the slogans he said was, "The rule of the artery is supreme." In other words, circulation is the key to health. And that is true in relationship too, that if you don't circulate the emotions you have inside, or if you don't allow to flow out into the relationship what your dreams and visions are and what you most want for your life, if that kind of circulation isn't there, well, you get a kind of a relationship constipation. Everything's get frozen up, and then a detox needs to occur.
You may hear in the background a cat yowling. This is our cat Lucy asking for roughies. This is where we go out and we rough her fur up. That's her particular sound. She's really just fine. So if you hear that in the background, it's nothing to worry about. There was one other thing I wanted to say about feelings, which really shows up in relationships, which is if you withhold, it actually takes measurable physical energy to do that. And when you do that, then you withdraw.
And you start seeing the person differently.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that you're seeing them differently because you have withdrawn.
Right.
It looks like they're doing something.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yeah, it looks like it's over there.
Right. So that withhold, withdraw, project is a key that has to do with the lack of circulation. And the moment you say something that's unarguable or share a feeling, then you're back in circulation again.
Fantastic. So much goodness. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How can people find you? Can you share your website, your Facebook,
Sure,
all of that
sure.
yummy goodness?
Yeah.
Yeah, just come out here to the street and hang around, and we'll eventually come out.
Wave. Actually, one place where we have gathered a lot of resources that we'd love to share with people is our website, and that's www.hendricks.com, HENDRICKS.com. And we have a Facebook fan page that we've been putting videos up and lots of relationship tips. You can get 3 to 5 relationship tips a day, and we've got over 40 videos on there now that on all different aspects of relationship. And so if you go to facebook.com/relationship advice, you'll find our Facebook.
And we do seminars all over the world too. All that stuff though you can find out at hendricks.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you and appreciate all of your wisdom and your 30 years of brilliant experience and learning and growing and expanding, and your willingness to share it with the world. So,
Well, it's a pleasure to share it with you, for sure.
thank you. I am honored. And we have one more thing that I would love to do, invite you to do. I would love to do a little happy dance with you.
Oh, fabulous.
Enjoy yourself. Awesome. Adios.